Alcatraz sits in San Francisco Bay as a federal prison designed to remove hope. It operates on isolation, cold water, and certainty. Long before the famous escape of 1962, men test that certainty. Their attempts are not elegant. They are rushed. They are flawed. They fail. These early efforts shape how Alcatraz becomes known as escape-proof. They also reveal that the prison's reputation is built as much on psychological pressure as on steel and concrete. Alcatraz opens as a federal penitentiary in 1934. The island already carries a military past, but the new mission is clear. It is a last stop for inmates who refuse to conform elsewhere. The population includes bank robbers, gang figures, and repeat escape artists. The rules are strict. Privileges are minimal. Silence is enforced. Movement is controlled. The water surrounding the island is not just a barrier. It is part of the punishment. If stories like this matter to you, consider subscribing, because what happens next reveals how this system truly works. The administration promotes Alcatraz as secure from the start. Officials emphasize distance from shore, strong currents, and cold temperatures. They point to constant supervision and limited inmate movement. Yet within 3 years, inmates begin to test those claims. The first escape efforts do not come from elaborate planning. They come from desperation and miscalculation. In April 1937, Theodore Cole and Ralph Rowe work in the island's kitchen. Their assignment places them near a window that faces the water. The window is barred, but it opens for ventilation. Cole and Rowe remove the bars over time without detection. The work is crude. It leaves marks. But it goes unnoticed. On April 27, 1937, they act. During work hours, they slip through the window and drop into the bay. Guards do not see them leave. An alarm is not raised immediately. When they are discovered missing, a search begins. The water temperature is low. The currents move fast. The official conclusion is clear. Authorities state that Cole and Rowe drown. The case is closed quickly. No bodies are recovered. The prison maintains its position that escape from Alcatraz is impossible. The incident exposes an early flaw. Work assignments near exterior openings carry risk. Kitchen access changes. Bars are reinforced. Supervision increases. The response is practical, but the message to inmates is stronger. Even if a man reaches the water, survival is not expected. The next year, another attempt unfolds with more violence. In December 1937, Joseph Bowers is assigned to trash duty. His route takes him near the perimeter fence. The fence marks the edge of controlled space. Beyond it is a steep drop toward the shoreline. Bowers climbs the fence in broad daylight. Guards see him. Orders are given. He does not stop. Shots are fired. Bowers is struck and falls. He later dies from his wounds. This attempt never reaches the water. It ends at the fence. It sends a different signal. The guards respond with lethal force when an inmate ignores commands. The policy is clear. Compliance is mandatory. Hesitation can be fatal. In 1938, another escape attempt tests both the structure of the prison and the surrounding bay. Aaron Burgett and Clyde Johnson work in the Industries building. Like Cole and Rowe, they identify a vulnerable point. A window leads out of the workshop area. The plan is simple. Exit through the window. Reach the water. Swim. On May 16, 1938, they make their move. A guard spots them. Shots are fired. Burgett is hit. Both men reach the water. Johnson survives the swim and reaches shore. He is found exhausted and is returned to custody. Burgett does not make it. His body is recovered later. The official record states that Burgett drowns. The injuries from gunfire are noted, but the conclusion remains the same. The bay is unforgiving. One man lives. One dies. Neither escapes. This attempt triggers another round of changes. Window access is restricted. Work areas near the exterior are modified. Guard towers increase vigilance. Firearms policy is reinforced. The administration documents the event, but it does not publicize it widely. The image of Alcatraz remains controlled. In 1939, the most violent early escape attempt occurs. Arthur Barker, Dale Stamphill, Henry Young, and Rufus McCain plan a coordinated effort. They target the cell house. The plan involves overpowering guards and reaching the shoreline. On January 13, 1939, the attempt begins. Barker attacks a guard during a recreation period. The group moves toward a service corridor. Guards respond quickly. Shots are fired. Barker is hit and killed. Stamphill and Young are wounded and recaptured. McCain is subdued. The incident is chaotic. It happens in confined space. It confirms the prison's readiness to use lethal force inside the cell house. Afterward, the consequences are severe. Survivors are punished. Isolation increases. Privileges are removed. The message is unmistakable. Henry Young later becomes known for a separate incident involving violence inside the prison. But his role in the escape attempt is already enough to mark him. The administration tightens control over group movement. Recreation periods change. Guard positions adjust. These early attempts share common errors. Inmates underestimate the environment. They overestimate their physical capacity. They misjudge response time. The prison does not rely on one barrier. It layers them. Walls, bars, armed guards, and water work together. The bay itself becomes part of the narrative. Officials emphasize sharks, cold, and currents. Some of these claims are exaggerated in public statements, but the core reality remains. The water is dangerous. Survival is uncertain. For inmates, the uncertainty is enough. Internally, the prison studies each attempt. Reports are written. Procedures are updated. The goal is not just prevention. It is deterrence. Each failure reinforces the idea that escape leads to injury or death. Alcatraz does not rely on secrecy alone. It relies on example. When an inmate dies during an attempt, the fact circulates inside the cell house. Names are known. Outcomes are remembered. Fear becomes a control tool. The early years reveal that Alcatraz is not static. It adapts quickly. A single loosened bar leads to inspections across the island. A gunshot near the fence leads to clearer rules of engagement. A coordinated attack leads to tighter movement schedules. By the early 1940s, escape attempts become rare. The failures of the late 1930s have done their work. Inmates understand that planning time is limited. Surveillance is constant. Any mistake is final. The reputation grows quietly. It is not built on legend yet. It is built on reports, funerals, and lockdowns. Outside the island, the public hears little. Inside, the lesson is constant. The prison's psychological impact deepens. Silence is enforced. Communication is restricted. The threat of isolation looms. D-block becomes feared. Men who violate rules disappear into solitary confinement. Early escape attempts contribute to this system. Each one justifies harsher measures. Each failure becomes evidence that resistance is pointless. The environment is engineered to wear men down. Guards also change. They are trained to expect sudden action. They are instructed to respond without delay. Warning shots are not emphasized. Control is prioritized over negotiation. The administration frames this approach as necessary. Alcatraz holds inmates deemed unmanageable elsewhere. Safety of staff is the stated priority. The record shows that force is used decisively. These forgotten escape attempts matter because they shape what follows. By the time later inmates arrive, the prison is already hardened. Physical weaknesses are addressed. Psychological pressure is refined. When future escape planners study the island, they inherit a system built on these early failures. They learn what not to do. They also learn what the prison believes about itself. The contrast between the early attempts and later ones is stark. The first men act with limited preparation. They rely on instinct. They pay for it. Later attempts are slower, quieter, and more calculated. Yet without the early attempts, the later ones do not exist. Each failure teaches both sides. The prison learns where it is vulnerable. Inmates learn that brute force does not work. Alcatraz closes as a federal prison in 1963. Officials cite cost and infrastructure issues. By then, its reputation is fixed. It is remembered as escape-proof, even though history shows otherwise. The early escape attempts remain buried in reports and brief mentions. They lack mystery. They end quickly. They are uncomfortable. They involve gunfire, drowning, and administrative response. They also reveal the prison's true function. Alcatraz is not just about containment. It is about discouragement. It uses environment, policy, and example to control behavior. The men who attempt to escape before the legend are not celebrated. They are warnings. Their names fade. Their actions remain in the system they helped create. The island stands today as a historical site. Visitors hear about famous escapes. They see cells and corridors. The early attempts are rarely discussed. Yet they are the foundation. They show that the myth of total security is constructed over time. It is reinforced by failure. It is maintained by consequence. Alcatraz does not become a psychological deterrent by accident. It is built deliberately, one failed escape at a time. If you think this story was intense, the next one will leave you speechless. Subscribe for more true crime stories that'll keep you on the edge of your seat.